Hey guys, this is my 6-month update. I have officially hit my 6-month milestone on testosterone. So it's kind of funny because I have watched other videos and read other stories of guys who have either gone through the transition or are currently going through it. And they all kind of mention that they hit a moment where they look at themselves and they really finally see all the changes in them on their face. And I actually kind of hit that moment while I was setting up my camera. I was looking at my face like, whoa. And just looking at all the facial hair, like those sideburns are coming. I'm actually starting to get more facial hair right here. I think I mentioned in a previous video that I wasn't getting anything at all, but now there's some fine facial hair starting. Yeah, there's a good look at it right there. I'm actually getting it here. It's starting to come up here. My other side's kind of lagging a little bit. But it's funny because these are actually kind of growing in kind of curly, where these are just coming straight in. But I don't know if you can see really well, but on the chin they're starting to come in. The sideburn game's kind of coming. The acne game is still strong. You just can't see it as bad because I have good makeup on. In fact, props to the people at Ulta because I went for the first time yesterday since I started transitioning. And they were super nice, and they helped me find a good concealer. Even before I started transitioning, I was really into makeup. I would go hit up Sephora or go hit up Ulta. Everybody wants to look good regardless of gender, so it's okay. If you're a trans guy out there, you can still play with makeup. It's all good. So, the concealer I believe was called Amazing Concealer. So guys, if you're out there and you're feeling a little self-conscious about it, go try it out because this stuff is really good. Anyway, so wow, 6-month milestone officially today, October 1st. I started back on April 1st was my very first T-shot. So I'm many shots into it now. As far as any changes, I feel like my voice, honestly, I feel like it keeps getting deeper. And usually when I go see my therapist, she says that it sounds deeper also. I'm still having trouble finding my pitch when I sing, so I haven't really started into it yet because I'm struggling with that. So if anyone out there can give me some advice on it, go for it. My goodness, I'm blown away thinking about 6 months where I didn't even think that day one was going to be possible because I put so much work into just trying to find a place that would help me get on the testosterone therapy, or even just thinking back on the days where I really sat there and just debated if I could really do this. I mean, I was scared. It was a lot of fear first going into it, so I'm really proud of myself for what I've done, for everything I've accomplished, for really doing the research to get into this and to do it and to make it happen. You know, as far as what's gone on, to recap really these past 6 months, wow. Started a new job and my new coworkers are amazing. They're so amazing. They've asked me questions. They've been so consistent with calling me by the correct pronouns since day one. Everybody in that building's been so respectful. I think what really brings me a lot of joy too is that there was a day when we had a lot of vendors there at work, and we were at one of the tables where they were talking about the breast cancer walk, and I was with 2 of my female friends, and they were giving us t-shirts, and they gave my 2 female friends the pink t-shirts, and then they looked at me and said, oh, and here's the one for the men, and it says, it's gray, and it says real men wear pink. And I was blown away that this person I'd never met before recognized my gender, but I think what blew me away even more was that when she handed me the shirt, looking at the faces of my 2 coworkers and seeing their excitement just meant so much to me, and it was so cool. I mean, I was getting teary-eyed looking at their reaction because it was just so amazing to see them so excited for me. It made my day. So it's been great. I really at this point have to really thank my family who have been so amazing during my transition. My siblings are so supportive. My parents are supportive. I love calling my mom and hearing her laugh a little when she hears my voice because it just sounds deeper and deeper, and it just blows her away every time she hears it. My gosh, you know, I have to thank my friends and really thank a lot of you guys because I know that for some of you, you've known me and we've been tight, and I am always really amazed and taken aback by those few of you who you've really challenged yourself and you've challenged your perceptions of trans people because now you know one. And I want to thank you all, especially, for really challenging yourself and your perceptions, because I can only imagine how difficult that must be for you. And I think it's awesome that you're willing to do that, though, to challenge that perception that you had, because, you know somebody who's trans and you know that he's a good guy. And I think that's cool because you're really broadening your horizons, and that's a huge step for anybody. So thank you. And thank you for being honest with me too, because that means a lot. Of course, I've lost a few people along the way, and that always sucks, and if they come back around, that's cool. But if they don't, it's the reality of the situation. It was one of the things I touched upon with my therapist in our last session a couple of days ago, is that she said, you do unfortunately lose some people during this process, and maybe they will come back around, and that's cool, but you can't always bank on that. So I'm kind of in that position now of wondering, what's going to happen from here. And that sucks when you do lose a few people, but at the same time, I have to keep that perspective of, this is something that needed to be done. This is something that has made my life a lot more fulfilling, because I'm finally starting to get into that skin that I always thought that I had. With being trans, it's like you're walking around in a costume, and it was like walking around in a costume for 3 freaking decades. And now I'm finally starting to tear that costume away and see what I've always... what's on the outside is finally starting to match what's on the inside. And for me, it's so phenomenal. The kind of funny thing is, I think I've joked before about how big my chest is. I mean, it's like that scene in Dirty Dancing when she's like, I carried a watermelon, and the other dude's standing there with like those 2 big ones. Yeah, that's what I feel like most of the time. But oddly enough, in the past month, I've gone out in public, I've gone out to restaurants, and people have still gendered me correctly. They've called me sir, and it's been neat. I mean, even, when I go through the drive-thru anywhere, yeah, you can only see me from here up, so they hear the voice and see the face. They're like, okay, sir. But I was really surprised. I went to Olive Garden the other day, and automatically they were gendering me correctly, and obviously they could see me from there down. So it's been really cool. I mean, people have been really respectful. Even when I catch those people who are kind of hesitant, they don't know, they just don't use a pronoun, but they're still really kind. So I think that's cool to see that in society, how much we're evolving also, and how the treatment of trans people, I know there's still places we don't get treated well, but it's nice to come across people, like when I went into Ulta, and they were still really kind, and the woman who was helping me was talking to me about how, I'll probably cycle through the acne because it's like a puberty process. And the barber I go to right now is so brilliant and open, and she is phenomenal, and she's very well skilled, might I add. I go see a barber in San Marcos, and she is amazing. And I can walk in there and not have any qualms about the fact that I'm trans, because they know, and it's not a big deal. And I can get a good haircut and not have to worry about going into a barber shop where someone will be like, whoa, yeah, we don't serve people like you. So I've been so fortunate to be in the position that I'm in, that there are times where I don't really let myself get upset when I experience those little setbacks where maybe I lose somebody, or somebody is unkind, or if, comments are made about me by people who I thought really cared about me. And, some of those people do care about me, but they don't realize that when they're knocking the trans community as a whole, that I'm part of that community too. So I've had to let myself be okay with feeling upset over those moments, instead of just hunkering it down and being like, no, I don't deserve to complain. I'm working on letting myself feel, I think is what I'm trying to say. So it's difficult at times. I mean, there's times where I go on Facebook and I try to challenge people on what they're feeling about trans people, because a lot of it is just fear-mongering. And there's people who don't know me who will make comments like, oh, you're a woman. But you know what? I'm not going to let some freaking keyboard jockey non-entity decide what my freaking gender is. I mean, really? Have you checked out some of those profiles of people who talk shit? They don't have no place to be doing that. But seriously, though, I'm not going to surrender myself to a keyboard jockey and be like, oh no, you think I'm a woman? I don't give a shit what they think. What matters is how I feel, and I respect myself, and I respect myself as a man. one of the things I really aim to do as a man too is just to try to challenge those gender norms. It's kind of funny because I think I mentioned before that I didn't realize till I became a man just how hard it is for women out there, and how much passive aggressive misogyny is just thrown out there. I mean, especially just looking at the elections right now, which I'm not getting into, but I will say the amount of misogyny out there is just kind of disturbing. I mean, you see it and you're just like, whoa, and they think that's okay. I don't know. We gotta be better for everybody. We gotta be better for our daughters. We gotta be better for our mothers, our sisters. We gotta be better for everybody out there. And we have to be better out there for the men too. We need to set better examples of how women should be treated and how they should be respected, you know? So I'm really aiming to expand on that as well in any way possible. But I wouldn't go as far as calling myself a feminist. I think I'm just a guy who had an epiphany about this stuff. So anyway, today I am choosing to celebrate with organic chocolate stout. I felt like something a little heavier today with a little body. I know I've normally been drinking some lighter beers, but I had a craving for chocolate today. I got sick, pretty sick with a bad sinus infection past few weeks, so I haven't posted any video updates because I sounded like shit and I looked like shit. And I was really sad because I couldn't have a beer during that time because I was on these brutal antibiotics. So antibiotics, steroids are down. I'm good. My stomach's getting back to normal because, after antibiotics, it screws you up completely. So I've made a pretty good recovery so far, so I'm treating myself. I have gotten back into painting again, which has been super nice. And my gosh, it's just a big open slate out there. And I am so excited that I am at this milestone. And I am excited that so many of you have stuck with me through it. I'm making new friends along the way, and that has been so cool. This is such an exciting time, and I'm so grateful to be in this moment and to be in this position that I'm in. Just a lot of gratitude. I can't even really express it. I mean, I feel like I'm just repeating myself, but I've worked so hard for this moment, and I've worked so hard for these past months and to do what I've been doing. I have to give a lot of thanks to my wife because she has been my stronghold through so much of this, and she has been there encouraging me all along the way, and there's nothing in this universe I can do to ever thank her for what she's done and for staying by my side through everything and just being able to love me, truly love me for who I am, every part of me through all of these changes. She has just loved me the same, and it takes an incredible human being to do that and to really feel that kind of love. So, babe, you're amazing. Thank you. But I am looking to post more updates more frequently like I used to before because I really enjoy doing them. I just was in a stressful place before, but now with the new job that I have, I am in a less stressful place. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. So I hope I have more time to definitely churn out these updates because this is fun. I love seeing the comments from you guys. I love hearing about it at work the next day that you told me you've seen my new video, or I love getting your texts. I love getting your emails, getting your comments on YouTube, getting your comments on Facebook. It's awesome. So I'm sorry if I keep doing the shifty-eyed thing from the camera to here because I know it sounds stupid, but I keep looking at my face. I don't know if it's because I just got the new haircut, but to me it just looks different than it did before. So maybe it's just finally catching up to me. I mean, you look at yourself in the mirror every day. I mean, you don't always see these subtle changes. You don't notice them because I look at this damn face every day. So now I'm kind of like, oh, look at my eyebrows. So anyway, guys, thank you all so much for making these last 6 months so fucking awesome. I will continue to keep you all posted. So much love to you all. Keep changing the world. Keep helping me change the world. Keep helping yourself change the world. And just be good to each other. And keep on following up on me because I will keep this going. And thank you for being along for the ride. And I am going to go enjoy my organic chocolate stout. It is delicious. So I will see you all later.